Hi everyone, it's Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim. We have a video that's been going viral all over the internet about a mayor in Dearborn, Michigan, who shouted down his constituent who was politely asking some questions about a sign that had been put up that was concerning to him. Why did he not like the sign? Is it because he's a bigot and he doesn't like Arabs? Is it because he hates all Muslims? No, that's not why. What was the response of the mayor? How did he react to this guy? We're gonna get into all that. So what we have here is we have the full city council meeting. So you're gonna get all the context. You're gonna see the whole exchange. You're not just gonna get a little clickbait version, but it's really interesting and it's worth discussing. That being said, I'm gonna get started. Let's get into it. All right, Huda, I'm gonna start the video and then we can start talking about it.
Okay, sounds
Ted
good.
Barham, Dearborn resident. I want to talk about how two intersections have been named after Mr. Osama Siblani. I just know him by his last name. Sorry about that. Okay, and so I'm sure he's done a lot of good things for the community, starting the Arab American News. But one thing I'm very concerned about, which I think a lot of people in Dearborn would be concerned about, I mean, I could just read his direct quotations. I'll read a couple of them. These are from 2022. Yeah, he talks about how
Can you tell
the
us what
blood.
the issue is?
Yeah, Mr.
Before you
Councilman
start
Abraham.
reading things, can you just tell us what your concern is?
Yeah,
Councilman
my concern is he's a promoter of Hezbollah and Hamas, and
Okay,
then
Mr. Barham.
Just before we go any further, what we're seeing here is a concerned resident of Dearborn, Michigan, who's here to politely, as we're going to see, politely address his concern about a sign that's being put up that his concern is this journalist that while he may have done some good things for the community, he's also promoting terrorist entities. So that's his claim. Let's see if he backs it up.
and also it's in Dearborn. So I'm just speaking as a Dearbornite. There's lots of quotes, but just a couple of quotes here. He talks about how the blood of the martyrs, I'm quoting, irrigates the land of Palestine. And then
Yikes.
further quotes,
Oh,
he talks about how the terrorists should strike them with knives and with their bare hands, and they're victorious. And he also encourages the use of rockets over there. And then another quote from 2022, "We are the Arabs who are going to lift Palestinians all the way to victory, whether we are in Michigan and whether we are in Jenin." So the reason why I mentioned this is that it sounds like he could be inciting violence in Michigan. Believe me, I'm continuing the quotation. He says, "Believe
He's
me."
not. I just want to be clear. He can speak for himself.
Well, this is
I'm
speaking
just
for
gonna,
himself.
I'm gonna stop you because he's not a violent person. And you can interpret his words any way you want.
he just
But
says some
I will
violent
guarantee-
things. He's
No,
not
he's
a
talking
violent
about- he's
person.
talking
He
about the
just says some
journalist.
violent. Yeah, I know, but he's not a violent person. I'm like, okay, but he just says some violent things.
Yeah, like this
Blood
is
is
where
irrigating the streets or the land or whatever. Oh my
the blood
god.
yeah, that's the thing, right? It's he may not be like, he's definitely encouraging the whole martyrdom, dying for the sake of Allah. He said whether we're in Michigan or Jannah, he may not be saying they have to do some sort of violent acts in Michigan, but he's definitely promoting terrorism at the very
Yeah.
least, right?
When you first showed me this story, and I didn't know that much about it, right? I didn't get a chance to read about this in depth or anything. I thought initially maybe he had issues with the name Osama, like being on a street sign, which,
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, like for me, and I know you wouldn't, I don't care if
Yeah.
Osama Siblani
Yeah.
is a street, like a sign,
Yeah.
like a street name. I don't care if Osama Siblani isn't like, saying this crazy stuff online about blood irrigating the land and
Yeah.
we're gonna do this from Dearborn to Palestine. Like, I don't have a problem with, because we watched a video of him saying he came to the US with like it's like $280 in his pocket or something like that, and he had this nice story, and then you hear
Yeah.
this and I'm like, okay, that's what it ends
Yeah.
when I'm okay with your name being on a street sign.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Let me continue.
Guarantee you, he is not intending to incite violence anywhere in the world.
You know, it's interesting that he's saying he's not intending to incite violence, but when he's promoting and propagating and glorifying martyrdom, what else do you call that?
I know.
And the people have been kicked out of the country on visas for less than that.
Yeah.
So
He's not being poetic. This isn't he's not some poet, speaking like in a, in that type of way. No, this is a literal, irrigate the land.
yeah. Wait until we see the mayor's reaction. This is like, it's gonna get we're not even there yet.
World.
Well,
Councilman
He could
Abraham.
defend himself if he were here, but
sure.
we're not going to allow personal attacks in our community.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm just
How is this a personal attack? He's pointing out what this journalist wrote online or in the paper, is Arab newspaper he wrote.
And he is being so respectful. He even he didn't say his name wrong on purpose. He had to correct himself, and he's being so just reasonable.
Yeah.
Level, and he's not coming in there. He's, effing this and that. Nothing like that. Just calmly speaking his point and what he thinks.
He's
what he
definitely
sees.
winning over the crowd here. Not this crowd, not the ones in front of him, but everyone else that's watching is like, wow, who's the reasonable one here, right?
Yeah.
reading his words here.
That's fine, but
They
you're
seem
interpreting
very.
his words after you read them.
How dare you interpret his words that he wrote about irrigating the blood of the land with the blood of the martyrs? How dare you interpret that as he means the flowers that grow in the land of Palestine. It doesn't mean the dead bodies that died fighting and stabbing. It's like, what else? How else do you interpret that, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
He did not use the word violence, did he?
Oh no,
Well,
he didn't use the literal word violence.
No, he just alluded to violence. I mean, what else could you possibly mean by blood?
Yeah. Oh,
you know
my
what
God.
too? You know what else is funny? The lefties and all those people, they're always bitching and moaning about old white men, and this old white man is agreeing with them, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
may I continue the rest of the quote?
Well, if you say you want to read them, you can read them. If you want to interpret and give your own opinion of what he's thinking, that's a different story.
your own opinion.
Sure. I mean, I'd love to discuss this. I just want to finish the quote because this is more. So, okay, I'll continue. Whether we are in Michigan and whether we are in Jenin, believe me, everyone should fight within his means. They will fight with stones. Others will fight with guns. Others will fight with planes, drones,
Guns
and
aren't
rockets.
violent.
Others will fight with their voices, and others will fight with their hands and say, "Free, free Palestine."
Nope, not violent at all. Just, it's like, it reminds me of the quote in the Quran or the Hadith that talks about change it with your hands. If you can't change it with your heart, the hands isn't physical fighting, and then you hate it in your heart. I mean, these are American Muslims. Unfortunately, this one issue has become like a big problem now. This thing where it's you can. I mean, I even saw a video on Rebel News about this Canadian girl that's like, Hamas is not terrorists. They're not terrorists. We're freedom fighters. It's become acceptable to say this in public, and even in America, you have these people. They're just openly saying, they're not even scared of hiding it. They're not saying it on the Arabic version. It's even in English they're writing these things. They don't unashamedly promoting and encouraging or enabling this culture of violence. And this is one of the big problems with Islam, is it has this culture of martyrdom and violence, right?
Yeah. This was my fear from the beginning with the whole Gaza thing and Hamas, that, when we first started hearing this rhetoric, oh, Hamas are just freedom fighters. And it's like, they are quite literally listed as a terrorist group under all the other terrorist groups, which are Muslim. Yeah. But it's like, this is socially acceptable to glorify terrorism.
Yeah, so
That's what this
crazy.
has become. That's what
Yeah.
this has become. And with this white, guy in the council versus the pastor here, it's kind of reminds me of somebody we know. This is your reality. That's not my reality. That's what,
Mm.
this guy over here is saying to the pastor,
The
basically.
minister.
Yeah, the minister.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he didn't use the word violence, and he's like proceeds to read. Yeah, we'll get them with stones,
Guns,
guns,
drones.
sticks, drones, whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
but he didn't say violence. He didn't say.
Yeah.
It's
Didn't
like,
let him finish even. Yeah.
yeah.
So I just find it very concerning. Did my 3 minutes include
Yeah,
other
no,
people's
no,
words
that's
as
okay.
well?
There was some dialogue, but
Yeah.
as the councilman indicated, and just we wanted to make sure you be careful when you're talking about incitement or riot. There's legal terminations for that. There's legal precedent for that, and that's what the councilman has indicated, that you're drawing a conclusion that you have the right to draw. But as I indicated, the sign was placed from the county in that location. So, did you have anything else you'd like to speak on?
Well, it seems very provocative to have those signs up there. I mean, I also appreciate how he has helped to people to sympathize with, the people of Palestine, people of Lebanon. As you know, I've lived in Lebanon. I also lived in Israel. I've stayed for several weeks in Palestine, and I feel like, but despite that, I feel like having that sign up there, it's almost like having, naming a street Hezbollah Street or Hamas Street. I mean, Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel that's quite inappropriate. And as a Christian, I would like to encourage peace. I'm not just being like, pro-Israel in this and fight back and that sort of thing. But I would like to encourage peace and not violence. Actually, I'd like to quote from the words of someone who.
There you go. This guy is being very peaceful, very wholesome. He's trying to appeal to their side. He's trying to say, like, look, I'm not here just to fight. I just don't think that we should be encouraging this sort of like, we shouldn't be rewarding someone that's openly said these things and hasn't apologized, hasn't taken them back or whatever. Right?
Yeah. He's being demonized for
Mhm.
having Western values. His those damn Western values of peace and
who had the same enemy. It was Jewish people who killed Jesus. He was Jewish, but his fellow Jewish people killed him. They said the one who lives by the sword will die by the sword. And what I would like to encourage on the other side is peace. He is called the Prince of Peace, and he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." And his death at the hands of Jewish people opens the door to peace between Jewish and non-Jewish people. So that's what I would like to actively try to encourage to you. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm not a fan of the whole anti-Jewish rhetoric, Jews kill Jesus and this and that. But anyways, he's trying, it appears, to have some common ground and to say, listen, I'm not anti-Palestine. I'm just pro-peace. I'm literally pro-peace. And so, even, someone else that I love and care about, Jesus, has suffered because of Jews. And, so he's like, I understand where he's coming from, but he went too far.
Yeah.
He went way too far. He went past the line when he
But
said,
you know what?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm done.
No, I was going to say, at the same time, though, he shouldn't have to get up there and kind of basically apologize almost, or, say, oh, I'm not trying to be pro-Israel. You shouldn't have to bring any of that into this conversation to point out that this man, Osama Siblani, has said some abhorrent things and some questionable, concerning things. You shouldn't have to bring all that other stuff in there. Well, I'm not being this, I'm not being that. I have, visited Palestine. You shouldn't have to justify or talk about these things to make your point, your obvious point, known.
And apparently Osama Siblani is Lebanese born, and he began publishing this newspaper in 1984, like a year after I was born. It's believed to be the oldest and largest Arab American newspaper. And
wow.
I guess not surprising, the anti-Semitism. It's like it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The best suggestion I have for you is to not drive on Warren Avenue or to close your eyes while you're doing it. His name is up there.
Did you hear what he said?
I think that's absolutely terrible. He would even speak like that to him.
Well,
Close your eyes while you're driving on it.
close your
That's-
eyes while driving. He told the guy
That's
to close his
horrible.
eyes while. Does he want him to run over somebody?
That's so like that's awful. That's
Yeah.
awful to say that. He
Yeah,
had
he's like-
time to prepare what he wanted to say too, and that's what he had to say. That's what he came up with.
Yeah, like it's gonna get worse. Let him finish.
That's horrible.
And I, spoke at a ceremony celebrating it because he's done a lot for this community. And I think it's quite hypocritical to know that you're approaching this podium when you yourself have videos on YouTube standing in front of my mosque saying the cruelest of things about Muslims, about the religion.
I haven't seen this video, but the one thing I found was he was singing Christmas carols or something in front of the mosque. I don't know. I don't have the context here, so we're not going to go into that. But we are talking about what he said. He has every right to say in the city council about the specific issue. Whatever he said in the past is not relevant here because we're not
Right.
talking about that. If that was the
Right.
issue, you deal with that issue. If he was harassing the mosque, there should be criminal hate charges, whatever. Deal
That's a
with it.
separate thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you go to like, if you treat this like court, if you're going to court, you don't have diarrhea mouth about all these other things. You did this outside of it. Okay, well then you should have done something about it then. Or if you want to do something about it now, well, that's an entirely separate process, separate thing. This has nothing to do with why he's standing in front of you. So
Exactly.
drop it, forget it, and focus on the issue at hand here. Focus
Exactly.
on what's going on now.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is he's attempting to shame the guy, to humiliate him, to shut him down, and it's about to get even worse.
Yeah.
Religion of Islam, because the cruelest of things about Muslims, about the religion of Islam, because you are a bigot and you are a racist and you are an Islamophobe. And although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city.
Whoa.
Because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence. You're somebody who tries to preach it, but in fact, you do everything but that. So I just want to put that on the record.
He wants to put on the record. I'm actually, this is my first time seeing both of these people. I didn't see anything bigoted about what the way he presented himself, what he said, the arguments he made. I didn't feel any, like he brought up very concrete examples of inappropriate speech by this guy.
Right.
I don't think this is right for a mayor to be telling his constituent, get the hell out of here. I don't want you here. I'm going to have a parade when you leave. You are not wanted. Now, we talk about, sometimes people don't like the term creeping Sharia, but what else would you call it when you are calling someone an Islamophobe as a way to shut them down and then telling them you want them out of your community because they don't like the religion of Islam or they said something against the religion of Islam? Like,
Yeah.
apparently Omar Siblani, is allowed to say we fight them with guns and drones
Stones
and
and-
whatever, and that's okay. But this guy, he's not welcome here because he doesn't like Islam. I mean,
And I mean-
America is all about freedom of speech, or at least it should be, this First Amendment, the right to have a different opinion. Nothing he said was hate speech. Nothing he said was bigoted. It was literally, you are promoting terrorism, so you shouldn't have a sign named after you, be getting rewarded after you've said these things, unless and of course you apologize and you take it back or whatever. But there's no evidence of any of that.
You know what else? I hate to say this, but this is how I feel. But when somebody just says you're an Islamophobe, I mean, they call me that. Like the people in the comments of our videos, they call you that, obviously. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
getting called that now too. And it's
Yeah.
like, when you hear this over and over and over and over and over and over again, does that make me think or consider or believe that I'm an Islamophobe? No. Actually, it just gives you less credibility. So this guy is sitting here saying, you're an Islamophobe. You said this outside the mosque. I mean, he could have been holding up a sign or saying Jesus saves. Like, who knows? Like he's not giving any context of
Yeah,
what was
that's
said.
true. No
Whereas
specifics.
and before this stream, I mean, I
Mm.
still don't know a ton about this story. I'm looking up this pastor. I don't see anything. Like I googled him, and I don't see anything about this. Like if there's a video out there, I would like to see it.
Are you
But
talking about Ted Balham, the speaker?
yeah. Okay, I want to see. Like, did somebody take a video of this guy outside the masjid, like saying these things? Like he doesn't give any details. So it's like I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, when he's saying you're a racist, a bigot, this and that, this and that. I question it. I am highly skeptical because they will do, like you said, he's saying this stuff to shame him and shut him down.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he's a pastor. I think he's just a Dearborn resident.
He's a minister.
Oh,
Ted Barham is a Christian minister and resident of Dearborn.
oh, no way.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even
yeah,
realize that. I was like confused why you were saying minister. No way.
yeah. And it says this one Yahoo article says, Ted responded with "God bless you" after Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hamoud told him he was not welcome here.
Yeah.
So I'm finding some conflicting, things here with what the mayor is saying about Ted versus how Ted behaves and acts in this
Interesting.
situation.
Interesting. Let's hear that last part.
God bless you, Mayor. God bless you, sir.
Apostate, I'm going to hell based on the videos that you dropped. So if I were you, I'd sit silently.
Okay, thank you. We don't want to have any outbursts. Mr. Barham, thanks for your comments. And sir, name and address for the record.
Okay, so that's the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did say God bless you, and the guy said something about you say I'm an apostate and going to like the Abdullah Hamoud, the mayor's. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was like, where did that come from? I was like,
what the heck?
This is
Apostate of
crazy.
what? Like, is he? What? Okay. Anyways, yeah. My take is, as I said, no mayor has the right should not have the right to talk to his constituents like that. He's become enabled because most of his I guess you probably told me this, that Dearborn's very high percent of Muslims and Arabs living there. And so he feels enabled to say whatever he wants. He's like openly shutting down this Christian minister. I didn't even realize he was a minister, which makes this even more like understandable, this whole situation, that he's like a leader in the community. He has like a congregation, right? And he's like telling this guy that has a church that I don't want you here, get out of here. I mean, that's just inappropriate on every level. And what I saw was this man being very fair. He didn't say anything wrong. I mean, you know me, everyone that watches my channel knows that I don't stand for bigotry in any way, even against Muslims, right? Especially against Muslims, right? It's like literally one of the founding values of my channel is, to critique Islam without bigotry. Yet I don't see any bigotry here, right? And from what I can see is they're just shutting him down because they don't like what he's saying, right? And that's about it. But kudos to him for standing up and taking a risk and saying what he had to say, despite the negative outbursts. This is getting a lot of media attention now, thankfully.
I'm sure that he's getting death threats, and there's all kinds of bad things that can come your way when you openly speak out like this, and especially the fact that it's gone viral. But I think when I see stuff like this, especially, it's like a room full of adults older than us, even some of them, like they're older than us. And this is where my country is heading. I'm from the United States originally, guys. So I'm living in Canada with my husband now. But yeah, it kind of makes me very concerned about where things are going, that we can't listen to understand other people. I mean, there's a bias right away. There's a preconceived judgment about him because he's Christian, the other's Muslim right away. I mean, there's no insight or understanding from the other side that, this guy, although he has done amazing things for our community, which that's great. I say that's great too. Yeah. But it kind of becomes less, meaningful when you're also online talking about, being violent and then, it's like, again, not wanting to listen to understand. Oh, we didn't use the word violent. Okay. you know, it's like if there's like a, I don't know, if there's a somebody kills somebody and it's like, oh, but he didn't say he's gonna be violent, he just used violence. It's like how to make it make sense,
Yeah,
you know? So yeah,
exactly.
I just feel very concerned, and you know, these Muslims will continue to say, oh, we're the victims and Islamophobia, but you know, it looks like if anything, that the ability to speak out against this type of thing, it's kind of becoming suppressed, right? You should be able to be concerned. It's totally valid and justifiable to be concerned about a street name being named after somebody who says horrible things online about
Exactly.
being violent and blood irrigating the land. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
anyways, feel like
Okay,
I said what
well,
I
I
needed to
mean,
say.
yeah, thanks for that. I mean, again, all this shows is Islam is bad. And so, what do we end off with? Leave Islam behind. Life is better and more beautiful without it. Thanks for watching. Please consider joining our Patreon. Here are our wonderful, beautiful patrons who have continued to support us for so many years. If you'd like to be one of them, you're most welcome to join us below. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex Muslim.
Signing out. Bye, guys.